Good morning. Welcome to the Town of North Hempstead 2024 Inauguration Ceremony. We have a great event planned for you. First, before we start anything, I'd ask that everyone please rise. For the presentation of the flags by the Nassau County Police Department Color Guard, I'm going to ask you to remain standing while we are led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Nassau County Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder, and continue to remain standing as we hear the national anthem from Chaminade High School Vocal Chamber Ensemble, led by Victoria Kokova. Color Guard Sergeant, present the colors.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to the Chaminade Glee Club. Color Guard Sergeant, retire the colors.
Detail, right, face, forward, march.
Please be seated. I now wish to call upon the Very Reverend Father Robert A. Romeo, pastor, St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church in Manhasset, New York, for the invocation.
Let us bow our heads before God. Gracious God, loving Father of all humanity, by whose hand you govern and lead the progress of all peoples. Throughout all of salvation history, your loving hand has been present to us. We pray you now again to that hand of guidance and love, of mercy and kindness, to bless this town, to bless our town supervisor, Mrs. Jennifer DeSena, and the entire board. Let them govern with wisdom, with honor, with compassion and mercy. Bless this county. Bless our town, our state, and our federal government. Bless each of us with that ability to open our hearts to the needs of those around us. Keep us mindful of the poor and all those who hunger. Help us in our hands and our love and the hearts that have given us to reach out to the stranger in our midst. Grant peace in our world, especially in the Middle East and Ukraine. Turn those whose hearts are filled with anger and hatred to love and compassion. And as we hear in the scriptures, turn those swords into plowshares, that which is destructive may come to be that which is beneficial. Bless us in all that we do, and in your great name, that all may be accomplished. Bless those who govern with the spirit of peace, mercy, and compassion. And we ask this as all things in the name of you who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Father Bob. Next, I want to introduce some of our distinguished guests who want to say a word or two. And first, I want to introduce Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman.
Thank you very much. Of all the introductions I've ever had, that was the most recent. Thank you so much. First of all, let me say that it's really an honor to be here today for this celebration. This is a celebration of democracy. This year, the beginning of this year, is the 125th anniversary of Nassau County. We have a year-long group of major celebrations and events to celebrate the rich history of Nassau County. Nassau County is home to every race, every ethnic group, and every religion. We are truly a snapshot of America. But unlike other places around the country and around the world, we in Nassau County get along. We have our differences from time to time. We have our political differences. We may have other differences. But the one thing about Nassau County is that we work together. We care for each other. We respect each other. And when we disagree, we agree to disagree. You've had an election here. And from what I understand, it was a contentious election. But now is the time to come together and govern. There's no Republican constituents. There's no Democrat constituents. There's no unaffiliated. Right now, everybody is a constituent, and our job as elected officials is to make sure that they get the services that they need in the most efficient manner. And I know under Jen DeSena's leadership that that'll happen, as well as the other members of the town board. I want to congratulate you, Jen. I've worked for you for the past 2 years. We've had an amazing relationship. You are strong. You are faithful. You have integrity. You're a fighter, but you're also a very kind person. And we all should realize that in elective office. It costs nothing to be kind. And we should try to be kind, even when we have differences. I'm here with a lot of my colleagues in government, and basically they are here to celebrate this election and to celebrate North Hempstead. I want to congratulate your new receiver of taxes, Mary Jo. Congratulations. Where are you, Mary Jo? Congratulations. Ed, our new council member, Ed. Where are you, Ed? Congratulations. Christine. Congratulations, Christine. And Mary Ann. Congratulations, Mary Ann. So, most of you know the history of North Hempstead. North Hempstead was the community that took on the British in the Revolutionary War. They actually, after the war, split with the town of Hempstead. That's why there's a town of North Hempstead, because you up here in the north were the patriots, and you're still the patriots, and you respect the flag, and you respect our American values, and for that, I'm very, very confident in the leadership here in North Hempstead, and my office will be always open to work with you. Now, one quick announcement, because I know some people here are cricket fans. We have been awarded the World Cup in cricket. Nassau County, and we will be hosting India versus Pakistan, which is the biggest match they have. There will be 1 billion people watching Nassau County this June. So we are very, very happy that we have been able to accomplish that. Last year, we had the first Korean American Games ever held in New York State, right here in Nassau County. So we've got a lot to be proud of. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I think we should recognize all our veterans that are here today. Thank you for your service to America. Thank you to all our volunteer firefighters. And I'm here with two of the best crime fighters in the United States, our great District Attorney Ann Donnelly and Commissioner Patrick Ryder. We have experienced in the last year, through their leadership, a sharp decline in major crimes, and Nassau County is still the safest place in America. Thank you for what you do. And now as we move forward in the 125th anniversary of Nassau County, let's move forward together. Let's get behind Jen and her team, and let's make sure that we have the greatest year ever here in North Hempstead. May God bless you all. May God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. Next, we're going to hear from Nassau County Legislator Mazi Palit.
Good morning. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you today to welcome you all to the town of North Hempstead inauguration ceremony. It is my great pleasure to stand here today as we prepare to induct my friend, Jen DeSana, for the second term as the town supervisor, along with other incoming elected officials. As a friend and a partner in government, Supervisor Jen DeSana has been a strong advocate for the shared values and principles that bind us together as a community. Throughout my time as a legislator, Jen and I have joined together a number of important issues, and I am especially proud to have stood united with her as we fought to stop Governor Hochul's disastrous housing plan. When Governor Hochul put forth this urbanization plan, Jen and I worked tirelessly to unite our communities against this attack on our suburban quality of life. Beyond this, we have worked together to fight the rise of anti-Semitism, hate crimes in our communities, as well as supported our brave men and women in law enforcement who work so hard to keep our neighborhoods safe. I am extremely proud to work alongside Supervisor Jen DeSana on these and many other issues that our residents care about. And I know that North Hempstead has a bright future ahead with Jen at the helm. It is my pleasure to welcome Nassau County District Attorney, the Honorable Ann Donnelly, to share a few remarks and administer the oath of office to our town supervisor, Jen DeSana. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It is truly a pleasure to be here today to swear in my friend, Jen DeSana. When Jen asked me if I would do this and make some remarks, she said, "You can speak for about 5 minutes on any topic you want." And I said, well, I have a great constitutional law lecture I could give. And then I thought, you know what? Nobody wants to hear you talk for 5 minutes about anything. So keep it short. I have had the pleasure of running 2.5 years ago with Jen, my first time running for public office. Jen was a support, she was a friend, and she was always there if I had a question. And I like to think I was there for her. Let me tell you one thing I know about Jen DeSena. She cares. And that's what this job, being a public official, is all about. I made a promise when I was running for office, a promise I believe I'm keeping till this day, that my number one priority was the safety and welfare of the residents of Nassau County. And Jen has been a partner in my striving to do that. That is my job as your district attorney. It's to keep you safe, to keep our neighborhoods safe. Along with County Executive Blakeman, Commissioner Ryder, Jen, Joe Saladino from the town of Oyster Bay, Don Clavin from the town of Hempstead, we have strived to put together programs to keep our residents safe. I also want to congratulate all the newly elected members of the Supervisors Board here in the town of North Hempstead. I want to congratulate those who were re-elected in your continued work to keep the town of North Hempstead the wonderful place it is. You have hundreds of thousands of constituents who will turn to you with questions, requests, and needs, but no pressure. I wish you all the best, and I want to tell you that my office and I am here for you if you need anything. I have an open door policy in the district attorney's office. If you need something, just ask, and we'll try to make it happen. We all know that hate crime, unfortunately, is on the rise. That is the one place we're seeing a rise in criminal activity. And I am standing here before you today, next to Jen DeSena, telling you we are going to fight that. I will not put up with hate of any sort in this county. Thank you. Thank you. I see that the Chaminade Glee Club left already. I wanted to tell them only Chaminade could get a bunch of, 17 and 18-year-old men to put on bow ties and red jackets and come and sing. They did a great job. My brother is a graduate of Chaminade High School, and he went on to become a United States Marine fighter pilot. So they have wonderful futures. Finally, Jen, I just want to say, you have work ahead of you, but I know you can do it because you are dedicated, you are special, and you care. And that's all anyone can ask of us as their public officials is to care. So good luck, and if you need anything, you know that I'm here. I think I'm supposed to wait to do the swearing in, right? Wait, okay. Chris is in charge, so I have to listen to him. Thank you, everybody. It's good to see you.
Okay, thank you for those remarks. I also went to Chaminade High School. I was cut from the Glee Club, so thanks for opening a wound that I thought I forgot years ago. So I would like to introduce many distinguished guests. You've heard from some. Our County Executive, Bruce Blakeman, our Nassau County Police Commissioner, Patrick Ryder, our Nassau County District Attorney, Ann Donnelly, our Nassau County Legislator, Mazi Palib. We also have our Nassau County Clerk, Maureen O'Connell. We have our Nassau County Comptroller, Elaine Phillips. Representing Governor Hochul, we have her Chief of Staff on Long Island, Stevens Martinez. I got to talk to you later. And on behalf of the New York State Controller, we have Assistant Deputy Controller Joseph Galante. Also a Chaminade guy, 1984. So I also would like to recognize Supervisor Joseph Saladino from the town of Oyster Bay. We have Nassau County Legislator Delia Dirigi-Witten. We have Nassau County Legislator Thomas McKevitt. So you come. Nassau County Legislator Arnold Drucker. We have Nassau County Legislator Samantha Getz. We have also from the town, this is why we're here, we have our great supervisor, Jen DeSena, and her wonderful family. We have Receiver of Taxes, Mary Jo Collins. Our 1st District Councilman would be Robert Troiano. Our 2nd District Councilman would be Edward Scott. Our 3rd District Councilman would be Dennis Walsh. Our 4th District Councilwoman would be Christine Liu. Very popular today. Our 5th District Councilman would be David Adami. And our 6th District Councilwoman would be Marianne Delamonte. I'm not done yet. We have villages as well. We also have former Nassau County Legislator Rich Nicolello. We have our Town of North Hempstead clerk, Ragini Severstera. We know Ragini in the village of New Hyde Park just by Ragini. She's like Prince and Madonna in New Hyde Park, so it's Ragini. We have our Nassau County Fire Marshal, Michael Utero. We have the Nassau County Republican Party Chairman and National Committeeman and fellow St. John's fan, Joseph Cairo. We have a number of villages present today, which is great. We have Nora Hagenson from the village of Baxter Estates. Michael Koblins from the village of East Hills. We have from the village of Flower Hill, Deputy Mayor Janice. From the village of Great Neck Plaza, we have Ted Rosen. From the village of Kings Point, we have Koros Torkin. From the village of Manor Haven, we have Mayor John Popleski. From the village of Mineola, we have Trustee Jeff Clark. From the village of North Hills, we have Mayor Marvin Natis. From the village of Port Washington North, we have Mayor Robert Weitzner. From the village of Roslyn Harbor, we have Sandy Quenzel. From the village of Williston Park, we have Mayor Paul Abar. And we have some special districts also present today. But before I do that, hometown rule, from the village of New Hyde Park, we have Deputy Mayor Madhvi Najjar. Village Justice Bob Marisi. Now, I don't know if Bob figured I'd call on him since we're in the same village, but he made a point. I've known him for 25 years. He made a point yesterday to say, you can pronounce my name Marisi or Marici. Either way. I said, Bob, I've known you for 25 years. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And so from the special districts, we have from Great Neck Public Schools, we have Superintendent Rebecca. You're the trustee? President of the board. Rebecca Sassoni. From Mineola School District, Superintendent Michael Nagler. From Port Washington Union Free School District, we have Superintendent Dr. Michael Hines. From the Roslyn School District, we have Superintendent Allison Brown. From special districts, we have from the Carl Place Board of Education, Neil McLaughlin. And we recognize the Carl Place Garbage District, the Great Neck Park District, the Great Neck Pollution Control District, the Manhasset Park District, the Port Washington Police District, who's present today, Port Washington Water District, Port Washington Water Pollution District. And we also have from the town, we have Joe Scalero from the town as well. We have the former town supervisor, Judy Bosworth. And United States Congresswoman Grace Meng. We have Democratic National Committeeman Robert Zimmerman. And we have Manhasset School Superintendent Dr. Passy. And I have a great friend of mine present who's the chairman of the Board of Fire Commissioners of the New Hyde Park Fire District, Reed Sakowicz. If I missed anybody, I completely apologize. It was not intentional. Next, we're going to have a blessing by Deacon Gerard McGaldy from the Church of St. Aidan in Williston Park. Deacon?
Let us pray. All-powerful and sovereign God, you are the supreme authority. In you are boundless power, authority, and governance. Therefore, we praise and worship you for the greatness of your glory and dominion. We thank you for granting us a share of your authority, particularly for our political leaders and public servants. We come to you today to bring them in prayer and humble supplication. Lord, we humbly ask that you grant them guidance, wisdom, and a discerning mind as they make crucial decisions. May these decisions be inspired by the sincere and genuine desire to bring positive and progressive impacts to all of us, our people and society. We pray, O Lord, that their hearts may be filled with genuine concern and compassion for the welfare of all citizens under their leadership. May there be no discrimination or biases as they deal with their constituents. May they serve them equally, regardless of their beliefs and backgrounds. Lord God, please inspire and help our leaders to serve and lead with integrity, truth, justice, and impartiality. May they always put their needs before the people and their own interests on the side. Protect them, Lord, from their lure of greed, corruption, and power. Grant the courage and strength to resist those temptations. Bestow on them the fortitude and courage to stand up for what is right in the face of situations that may compromise fundamental principles of goodness. Please inspire them to take the right path. May their decisions and work always be in accordance with the best interests of their citizens and country. We also pray for their relationships with each other. May they all work together for the common good. May they unite and cooperate by putting aside their individual differences and focusing on the most essential things. May they become promoters of peace, harmony, and unity among all people. Lord, bless our leaders and public servants with wisdom to lead us with the vision and foresight. May they be motivated to create a brighter future for the next generation. May they become responsible stewards and co-workers in your vineyard. May they accumulate, organize, and use their resources entrusted to them for the greater well-being of the country and the people. We ask this all in your Son's name. Amen.
Thank you, Deacon. Next, we're going to call upon Rabbi Shalom Paltiel from the Chabad of Port Washington in Port Washington, New York.
So friends, human nature is to worry. We like to do this. I think we all get it from our mothers. You know, the guy said, my mother sent a telegram and it had 5 words. Start worrying, details to follow. I mean, we're living in a difficult time. It's not a secret. I think in Jewish culture, we take this to an art form. You know, they say, what's the difference between a Jewish optimist and a Jewish pessimist? The Jewish pessimist says, things can't get any worse. The Jewish optimist says, yes, they can. Friends, at this moment, and we mentioned the Middle East, we mentioned Ukraine, we mentioned the hatred and anti-Semitism. It is a challenging moment. I want to suggest and empower and bless the leaders and the town. Let's make it a year of positivity. Let's take the lemons and turn it into lemonade. You know, anyone in the room hear of Woody Woodpecker? Do you know how it began? A couple was on their honeymoon, Gracie and Walter Lance, and they prepared this fantastic honeymoon. They got a hut in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the trees. There's nobody there, and this was going to be the major honeymoon. And then the next morning they wake up, and there's a woodpecker on the roof pecking away for 2 hours. And this happens every day of their 8-day honeymoon. Somebody else would come back and say, what a terrible thing. It was ruined. It's a disaster. It's a mess. By the time they came back, Woody Woodpecker was invented. Of course, he's the illustrator. She's the voice. On the 50th anniversary of their marriage, he told the story of their honeymoon that was ruined. It was a disaster. He said, it's the best thing that ever happened to us. We're going through tough times. Leaders, friends, I know you. You have what it takes. Let's keep it positive. God did not leave the cockpit. This is a moment to take the lemons and turn it into lemonade. You know, how did he say, don't miss a recession? Let's not miss this moment. This moment where hate is showing its ugly head is an opportunity to create unity, where good people are coming together around the world for leadership. I salute Supervisor Jen, my dear friend. I salute Marianne, my dear friend, and all those being sworn in today. And as they told us in rabbi school, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Jen, you care. Marianne, you care. We have leaders that are real friends of the people and for the people. I know you'll get together from all sides of the aisle and make it a great year and make it a great town. Happy New Year. God bless America and the town of North Hempstead.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm sorry, I neglected to mention a name, and it's from the Herrick's Board of Education, Trustee Julie Chin. And now for the main event, which is the administration of oaths of office. I'm going to ask Supervisor Jen DeSena to come forward. I'm going to ask Nassau County District Attorney Ann Donnelly to come forward to swear Jen in.
This one I'm going to read because I don't want to
Yes.
get it wrong. Please raise your right hand. I, Jennifer DeSena,
I, Jennifer DeSena,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Supervisor for the town of North Hempstead
of the office of Supervisor for the town of North Hempstead
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations,
Thank
Jen.
you. Thank you.
You want your family to come up and take a picture?
Sure. Well, we'll do that after.
After?
Yeah. Now it's me.
Now it's you.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Harbor Links. I want to thank all of you for joining us here today to begin a new chapter in our beloved town of North Hempstead. I want to thank a few of you in particular. To my colleagues in government, distinguished guests, reverend clergy, family, and friends, I am deeply grateful for your support, and your attendance today means the world to me. To our departing elected officials, council members Peter Zuckerman and Veronica Lurvy, as well as Receiver of Taxes Charlie Berman, thank you for your years of hard work on behalf of our residents. You all served tirelessly and faithfully during your time in office. To my fellow incoming elected officials celebrating their inauguration today, Receiver of Taxes Mary Jo Collins, Council members Christine Liu and Ed Scott, and veteran council member Mary Ann Dalmonte. Congratulations on your hard-fought victories. I look forward to working with all of you in the coming 2 years to serve the best interests of our residents. I'd like to acknowledge the dedicated and passionate workforce of the town of North Hempstead. Led by CSEA Local 7555 President Tom McDonough and his steadfast slate of officers. Thank you. Thank you for all you do to support and advocate for the best interests of our workforce. I also want to acknowledge and thank my family, especially my parents, Warren and Susan, my parents, Warren and Susan, have encouraged me for 54 years to work hard and be kind, and they have been wonderful role models for me. My sister Amy and my brother Warren, who are here today with some of my nieces and nephews, and thank you to my brother Justin, who's watching from home, and the rest of my family. Of course, my beloved husband Ralph, almost 27 years of wedded bliss. I could not have survived the past 2 years without your love and support, Ralph. And thank you to my boys, Robert and Michael, for your love and your unwavering support. You have filled my life with boundless joy, and I am so proud and grateful for you. Finally, I want to thank Republican Party Chairman Joseph Cairo Jr. and Conservative Party Chairman Danny Donovan and all the countless volunteers who worked tirelessly on my campaign. Without you, none of this would be possible. I stand before you today deeply honored and grateful to have been re-elected as your town supervisor for a second term. Since my first day in office, I've never once taken for granted the trust that has been placed in me by you, our residents. Over the past 2 years as town supervisor, I've worked tirelessly to deliver my vision for the future of our great town. As I embark on my second term as North Hempstead Town Supervisor, I promise that I will continue to uphold that standard and always fight for the best interests of our community. On Election Day, our residents delivered a message. This town needs to continue moving forward, not backwards. 2 years ago, I promised that town government would work with a greater sense of accountability to our taxpayers, and I believe this is something I have accomplished. I have collaborated with local stakeholders, listened to the concerns of our residents, and taken action to create positive change. The past 2 years have been highlighted by a number of proud accomplishments we've achieved here at the town. Under my administration, I've delivered record-setting tax cuts 2 years in a row for our residents to try and ease the financial burden property owners in this town face after a decade of tax increases. Coupled with out-of-control inflation and a volatile economy, it had become clear the town government was not acknowledging the affordability crisis on Long Island and may have been contributing to it. I'm proud to have put those days of tax and spend behind us. I'm also particularly proud that I've advanced a number of long-stalled projects that will significantly improve the quality of life of our residents while boosting our downtowns in areas like Manhasset and Carl Place. I've brought sunlight to government operations and worked to install measures that brought honesty, integrity, and transparency to our town. In 2 short years, I've proved that I can and will turn ideas into meaningful change for our great town. I promise to our residents that I will remain committed to serving each and every one of you with dedication, transparency, and a tireless passion for the betterment of our community. Our town is a vibrant mosaic of cultures, backgrounds, and ideas. It is this very diversity that enriches our lives and helps make North Hempstead a truly special place for us to live. As we move the town forward, I will continue to embrace our differences, celebrate our shared humanity, and work collaboratively to build a community where every resident feels valued and included. I look forward to working with all of my colleagues, both old and new, on the town board as I continue to commit this town to a taxpayer-first principle. I have a number of initiatives that I plan to advance during my second term, and I know that by working together in a bipartisan manner, we can ensure that North Hempstead remains a place where families thrive, businesses prosper, and our community remains strong. I promise to continue to put the best interests of our residents and taxpayers first, and continue to work to bring real change to a town that has been stuck in its ways for too long. Once again, I'm so honored and humbled to have received your support. God bless you all. God bless North Hempstead, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Next, I'm going to call up Mary Jo Collins, our newly elected receiver of taxes, and also ask Nassau County Controller Elaine Phillips to come and administer her oath.
just told the mayor I was going to say a few words, so if you'll give me a second here, please. So first, I also want to thank all the veterans in the audience. And as Mary Jo, I'm sure, is going to say to all those that are currently fighting for the freedom of the United States, Mary Jo has a son serving in the Navy, so let's say God bless to all of them. To our first responders, thank you. Love you guys, love you women. Commissioner Ryder, thank you for what you do. So 2 years ago, I had the honor of swearing in Supervisor DeSena. And I just want to thank CSEA and Kim because it was really cold that day. We were outside, we had coats on, so thank you for being indoors. But I knew when Jen called me to say, should I do it? Should I not? I looked at her and I said, Jen, you have everything it takes to be a leader for the town of North Hempstead. So thank you. Thank you for stepping up and doing the job you're doing. To Ralph, the boys, your parents, your sister, the whole family's here. This is great. Thank you for sharing her with us. And to the people of the town of North Hempstead, thank you. Thank you for getting behind her and doing the right thing and voting for her again. Yeah. So 28 years ago, 2 working women moved to Manhasset and started taking the 5:44 a.m., not p.m., a.m. train to New York City. And needless to say, 28 years ago, we were one of the few women that were on that 5:44 train in the morning. So eventually, you start smiling at each other and you say hello. And that forged a friendship that I am so truly honored to have. We support each other in golf, sometimes good, sometimes bad. We've been in the same book club for 26 years. And when asked if I knew anyone that could step up and do this job of receiver of taxes, there was no question in my mind that my friend, Mary Jo Collins, was the right person for the job. So, thank you. To Sean Jr., the whole family here, and to Matt, wherever you are right now, thank you for sharing your wife, your mom, with the town. Thank you very much. So, let's get this underway. So raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Mary Jo Collins,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Receiver of
of
Taxes
Receiver of Taxes
for the town of North Hempstead
for the town of North Hempstead
according to the best of my
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Elaine, and thank you all. Thank you doesn't seem to be enough, but I don't even know where to start, but I will be brief. To the taxpayers of the town of North Hempstead for putting their trust in me, I intend to do my very best to live up to that trust that you have bestowed on me. To my family, obviously Sean, my husband, my son Sean Jr., my son Matthew, who could not be here, my sister-in-law, who agreed to be my treasurer. Every day I ask her, can you please stay on another day? But she's taken the job very seriously. Brendan, my brother-in-law, And I thank you all. You know, one of the things that I look upon for the past 6 months of meeting the people and traveling to all the different villages, street fairs, VFW halls, the many opportunities I had to meet the people of the town of North Hempstead. I'm continued to be amazed. Yes, as Bruce Blakeman said, it's diverse. The people are so welcoming across the aisle, Republican, Democrat, and I am so honored to be able to have the ability to serve you. So I know I've left a lot of people out, and I think many of these names were mentioned already and are still here in attendance, and I thank you, and I look forward to working for you as your new receiver of taxes. Thank you so much. One more thing I should mention, if any of you happen to get the phone call from Elaine and it said, you know, she'll always start with that, as she did with me. You don't really want to be retired, do you? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Next, we're going to call up Edward Scott from District 2. And I'm going to ask Nassau County Clerk Maureen O'Connell to come and administer the oath.
Thank you, and good day, everyone. It's an honor to be here with such a fine gentleman, as you all know, who know him, Ed Scott. Let me just tell you, from my perspective as a Williston Parker Mineola gal, I've spent a lot of time over these past several years working with Ed on many, many, many things. And his activity and commitment to his community is unparalleled, in my opinion. He established the Albertson Civic Association many years ago. He's now a commissioner of the Albertson Water District. He has given so much to the Albertson community that if any of you drive through Albertson down Willis Avenue, you'll see a little village green where they now have a flag and a garden and a little overhang so you can sit on a little park bench there. And it really gives the Albertson community an identity. Well, his untiring efforts have been rewarded because he's going to take that same energy to this new position as councilman for the town of North Hempstead. So how lucky are those communities to get that level of energy? I want to also acknowledge Ed's wife, Kay, his two sons who are here, Eddie and Adrian. Excuse me, Aiden. And my son went to St. Aidan's School, and I spelled that up. Aiden, great job. You've shared a wonderful man with so many of us in North Hempstead. Thank you, and the best is yet to come. That being said, I would like to administer the oath of office, and for those of you who may know my job, all of these oaths will come to my office, so if anybody needs a copy, please call the office of the county clerk. They're all going to be on file later on this month. Ed, please step forward. Please raise your right hand. I, Ed Scott,
I, Ed Scott,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of New York,
Constitution of the State of New York,
and to faithfully discharge
and to faithfully
the
discharge.
duties of the office of council member for the District Number 2.
That was a long one.
You can handle it.
Yeah. To faithfully discharge the duties of the council of Town of North Hempstead,
Yes, according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Madam.
Congrats.
Worst thing that can happen when you mess up during something, right? So at least the people after me, you can't make a mistake. I did it already, okay? First off, I want to thank my wife, a person that I probably don't deserve, okay? I want to tell my two sons, okay? Mijos, yo te quiero, okay? Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'd like to offer congratulations to my fellow council members and Supervisor Jen DeSena on their victories. I'd also like to thank my friends and neighbors in North Hempstead for placing their trust in me, electing me to represent you. Today, you are witness to a pivotal point in North Hempstead's history, because today is about change. And although there's been many fine and dedicated public servants on both sides of the aisles that have come before us, change is a good thing. Governments, especially large ones, tend to get stuck in business as usual routines, and they fall easily to pray to the answer, that's how we've always done things mentality. What's needed then and now are new ideas and fresh perspectives, new purpose, and most important, a revitalized sense of mission. I can assure you that the group that stands before you today does indeed share this revitalized sense of mission. Working together, we aim to make North Hempstead the most efficient and most responsive town in New York. And I am honored to represent the people of District 2. When I was a sergeant in the New York City Police Department, and just to point out my old boss, Lieutenant O'Neill, being here 35 years ago, I answered all kinds of calls, all kinds of problems. There was no end to the variety of situations I was called to, and every day was a surprise. So I quickly realized that there was no mailing it in. Each call was different, each person unique, had unique needs, and there was no one-size-fits-all situations. I learned that problems require real attention to detail, and the best way to understand somebody's plight was to go directly to them, to listen to them, to ask them, show me the problem. I taught my young recruits this, that show me policing was not only the most effective way to make an impact, but it was also the key to developing empathy for those who we serve. I took that same approach in my work with the Albertson Square Civic Association these past 11 years, and that led me here to you today. Now, as your elected representative to the town of North Hempstead, I hope to address your needs, your concerns, using the same outlook. My goal is to be the show me councilman. I want you to tell me about the problem and show me the problem. I want to come there, I want to see it, and help me understand it. I still believe that in order to address the issue, we must have a firm grasp on all circumstances and understand exactly how it affects day-to-day lives of somebody. Does your traffic light have concerns for the safety of your grandchildren? Is that broken street light attracting criminal activity? Are taxes forcing you to go with less? Even small solutions demand that we first see the big picture. Throughout my career in public service, I was fortunate to have the trust and support of the people I serve. Today, I ask for your continued support as we work together to make North Hempstead the town we deserve, the best town in New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Next, we're going to ask Christine Liu to step forward, and I'm going to ask United States 6th District Congresswoman Grace Meng to step forward to administer her oath.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng. Thank you so much for welcoming me here today, to our County Executive Blakeman, to our Town Supervisor DeSena, and to all my colleagues in government at the Town of North Hempstead. I represent the 6th Congressional District right across the county lines, and thank you for allowing me to come into the 3rd Congressional District, although your former congressman actually lives in my district. I want to acknowledge my former assembly colleagues
Supervisor Saladino, and Assemblymember McEvitt. That is always my first political family, and it's great to be here with all of you. But we are all thrilled to be here today to congratulate my friend, Councilmember Christine Liu. You all know Christine. She's been involved in our local North Hempstead community for many years. During the pandemic, her leadership at the Herrick's Chinese Association led to PPEs for local hospitals and delivered meals for seniors. Christine has also addressed an issue that I've worked on in Congress, addressing the rise in Asian hate. From rallies to organizing self-defense classes, she has combated this issue for our community for so many years. And she has protected and fought for not just our local community, but literally protecting our country when she served and worked at the Department of Homeland Security. I'm so proud to witness Christine make history today. And I want to acknowledge her family, who is here with us today, for sharing Christine with all of us. This is a special day. This is a special day because Christine Liu is making history, not just for herself, but for an entire community. She will not just be North Hempstead's first Asian American council member, but the first Asian American council member anywhere in Nassau County and in Suffolk County. I'm honored to help administer her oath today. Raise your right hand.
I, Christine Liu,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of council member
of council member
for the town of North Hempstead
for the town of North Hempstead
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's truly an honor to be up here today to represent District 4 and the town of North Hempstead. Thank you so much to my family and friends. But first off, I'd like to thank Congresswoman Grace Meng. You know, it's funny because the difference between us is worlds apart, but still very touching. Both her and I are from Taiwan, and before that, our ancestors are from Shanghai. Both of us have law degrees, right? Both of us are very similar in age, okay? We both have children similar in age as well. The difference is Congressman Meng did not stop working. She kept going. She did not take time off, and she learned to have a great work balance and family balance, and now we proudly hold her as our congressperson in the United States House of Representatives. I, though, took a little time off after having a family. I stayed home full-time to raise my family for, I thought, just a little bit, but it turned out to be almost 12 years. We moved here when my children started kindergarten, and now I have a senior almost off to college, so a full cycle here. But I would not trade my time. The value of being a full-time mom and also meeting all these wonderful friends and neighbors and working for our community. So although I did take some time off and we have different paths, but we still are working together for the betterment of our town, our county, and the United States. So thank you so much for being a great role model for me. But I'd like to first off thank all those who have supported me along the way, which is my family and friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If I go more specific into them, I will start to cry, so I won't. Okay, but I will recognize my mom because she's the proudest mom ever at this point. And when you meet her, you'll be surprised and you'll say, Christine, that's not your mom, she's your sister, right? She is indeed my mom, but she's also my sister and my friend. And probably I'm the older sister. Thank you to all of my friends and family. Thank you to those who have been with me from the beginning when I moved here and those who I've met along the way during this campaign journey. Everybody has been so gracious and supportive. And I want to thank former Town Councilwoman Veronica Lurvy, who is here with us today. I have big shoes to fill, but thank you for mentoring me along the process. Thank you to our current supervisor and also our town board members. We will work together, I know, for the betterment of our town. And I really do love the theme here because we care. The fact that we are up here doing what we do definitely it's not for the pay, okay? But it's definitely more so because we care for our community. And the fact that we answer calls, we listen to our constituents, that we want to make our town better because we care. And I'm very, very happy and looking forward to working together with everyone to serve our veterans, to serve the seniors in our community, our school districts, our fire department, our police department, our great commissioner here. All the support that you need from this town, we will make sure to do the best of our ability to serve this wonderful town of North Hempstead. Thank you so much.
So before we move on, again, I apologize, but I want to recognize the president of the Board of Education from Roslyn, and that's Merrill Waxman Ben Levy. Next, I would like to call up Marianne Delamonte, and also call up former Town of North Hempstead Supervisor Judy Bosworth to swear her in.
So I'm going to do things a little different. Chief Delmiro, J.B. Meyer, can you please come up here with me? From the Port Washington Police Department. I'd like you to be here when I do my oath. Is that okay? Yes, and you're going to speak. I know.
Whoops, I'm going to hold this. Greetings. Good morning, or is it good afternoon? I'm not quite sure, but Happy New Year to everyone here in North Hempstead. It's wonderful to see all of you, and most especially to be here for my good friend Marianne, who's walking off the stage.
That was a short term. We want Commissioner Mullins to come up as well.
Of course. And this is quintessential Marianne, and that's why we love her. So if you bear with me, I'd love to just share a story that I think really describes Marianne. This happened a while ago. She was sitting in her kitchen. She was in her pajamas. She was in her slippers. And she heard a big bang and her house shook. And so what did she do? She opened up her front door. She ran out and she saw that there had been an accident and there was a car on fire. And what did Marianne do? Well, the car had hit a tree. It bounced off the tree. It hit a telephone pole. She directed residents to direct traffic. She directed people to call 911. She directed someone to get her a fire extinguisher. She put out the fire. She and her friend Debbie made sure that the person who was in the car got out of the car. They made sure nobody else was in the car. Never gave one thought to her safety, but wanted to make sure that everybody else was okay. Of course, the fire department came and did all the wonderful things that they do, but Mary Ann is someone who cares and who knows how to take charge and to do it in a way that is helpful and effective. And Mary Ann, that is you every day. Mary Ann is there to serve the community. She cares. She wants to protect the environment. And when I asked her, so what is the most important thing that you think you do as a council person? And her answer was, I'm here to help. I want to help. I want to be transparent. For those of you who have not yet signed up for Mary Ann's newsletter, I would say to you, do it. It's quite a read. You'll find out everything about Port Washington and lots about the town of North Hempstead as well. So I have to say that I did forget to congratulate our current supervisor, Jen DeSena. Thank you for the wonderful job that you're doing. And of course, all the others that are being sworn in today and those who are currently serving, it's a labor of love. It has to be. It takes up so much time and so much effort. But Mary Ann, that's what you do. And very often people will say, because I read Mary Ann's Facebook, although I don't really read much of anybody else's, someone wrote, when are you ever home? Because it's just laden with all the things and wonderful things that Mary Ann does and the events that she goes to. And the other thing that I'm struck by is the fact that Mary Ann is fourth generation Port Washington. So she's surrounded, of course, by her wonderful husband, Jim, and her children, James and Amanda and Lindsay, and I know that they are in school and away, and her mom, Lois, and her dad, Ron. But fourth generation means she grew up in Port Washington, surrounded by people who understood how important it is to serve. She loves this community. She will do anything she can to serve, to help. And Mary Ann, you love Port Washington, and we love you right back. So let's bring this young lady up.
I want you guys to come with me and do this with me, because we're a team, right?
So they're all taking the oath?
Yep, they're taking their oath with me. No, this is Port Washington Police Department and the Port Washington Fire Department is backbone to our community. So my cousin Matt is
Hi,
in
Matt.
the fire department, so I asked him to come up to represent the fire department.
This is wonderful. You have to go with the flow with Mary Ann. Okay. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
Mary Ann Dalmonte.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and
and
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
council member
council member
for the town of North
for the
Hempstead
town of North Hempstead
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. So while Mary Ann's doing this, I want to thank Mayor Chris Devane for doing such a great job as Master of Ceremonies. It can sometimes be like herding cats, but you made it look easy. Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to put this. You guys could go sit or you could stay with me. Whatever you want to do.
What do you want?
Whatever you want to do.
How long is it going to be?
Oh, do you look? I already broke the microphone. Kim, sorry. Delante's going to kill me. So it's about 6 pages. 4 years ago, I really didn't get a speech because it was like hours and hours. So I'm going to take my time today. So, sorry. But it's good. I want to thank former Supervisor Bosworth for swearing me in for my second term. Judy, I don't know if you realize how missed you are at the town of North Hempstead. I still get asked, how's Judy? We miss her. The bond you created with the residents in the town is something that you should be proud of. And I strive every day to do that. We worked across party lines, you communicated with every council member, returned every email and phone call, and still went to all the events in the town. I learned from you. I value our friendship and thank you for being here with me today. When I first ran for town board, I was guided by a simple idea. Everyone's voice matters. I ran on a platform of transparency to ensure that everyone, not just a select few, would have a seat at the table. It was an idea that resonated across the district. During my first term in office, I implemented a District 6 newsletter, bringing information about the town directly to the residents. I'm proud to say we have thousands of people on it across the town of North Hempstead. I look forward in my second term to growing that newsletter. I've hosted many mobile office hours and will continue hosting them during my second term. So I originally set out on a platform of transparency, but that wasn't all I did during my first term. I undertook several initiatives focused on public safety. Port Washington, thanks to you guys, we held our first National Night Out, a celebration of law enforcement and the community working together. Updated our street lights on Main Street, going to LED bulbs, which are brighter and safer. We removed the bulb outs on Main Street in coordination with the Port Washington Police and Fire Departments to make Main Street even safer. Utilized grant funding to ensure that we could implement the Port Washington Safe Routes to School program. We built new sidewalks and did significant work so that kids could walk to school and they could do it safely. We did critical work on ensuring that our parks remain at the level our residents deserve. Added beautiful new curbing and parallel parking installation at Mill Pond Park, ensuring that more residents could enjoy it. We resurfaced the basketball courts at Manor Haven Beach Park, as well as dredging at Manor Haven Beach Boat Ramp. Next up is the dredging that's scheduled for Manhasset Bay, which is desperately needed. I also led a first in the state program to provide access to our outdoor swimming pools by starting a fee assistance program so that town residents with financial barriers could take their families to enjoy our incredible public outdoor pools too. We also joined together to fly the first Pride flag at Town Hall. And I also worked to connect Be the Rainbow with the town to have Pride flags flown on Main Street for the first time with no cost to the residents. Added a crosswalk on North Plandome Road, connecting two neighborhoods for the first time so they can enjoy their beach rights. I was able to land two initiatives I worked the hardest on. I rolled out a bike sharing program called Pedal Share, with bikes located at our train station, the town dock, and Manor Haven Park, with no cost to the residents. This is something that I think is a critical step forward in making Port a downtown's true destination. We also planted 2 million oysters in Manhasset Bay, a critical and natural way to clean up the bay. Many people don't realize that one oyster, you might not eat oysters after I say this, but they're still good. One oyster filters 50 gallons of water a day. We're planting another 1 million oysters this year, and we'll be starting an oyster garden program with Cornell Cooperative of Nassau County at no expense to the residents of the town due to a grant that I helped secure with Cornell Cooperation of Nassau County. Also, I advocated a couple of years ago to Congressman Swazi when he was still in office, and he delivered on his promise and provided a grant to Hempstead Harbor Protection Committee for more oysters to be placed in Manhasset Bay and other areas of Long Island. We should be starting to use that grant this year. This is a program I am so proud I have fought for. These are just a few items I was able to accomplish in my first term. We have so many more to accomplish. It truly takes a team. TEAM stands for Together, Everyone Achieves More. To make things happen, I would like to thank everyone who is part of that team. Supervisor Bosworth, Supervisor DeSena, my former colleagues on the town board, everyone, and the hardworking employees at the town of North Hempstead. Because of you, we accomplished these goals. Speaking of team, I would like to thank my family. Being an elected official is not easy on your family. You guys know, right? It takes you away from your family dinners, events, and etc. I would never be able to be a councilwoman if it wasn't for the support of my husband, Jim, along with my children, Lindsay, James, and Amanda. My daughters and my son were not able to be here today because college started for one of them, the other one had to get back to Chicago, and the other one plays lacrosse for Penn State, and Penn State? And their season starts on Sunday, and he had to practice at 11 o'clock this morning. So to my mother, my father, my mother-in-law, my uncles, aunts, and family members, thank you for always being there for me. Words can't express how grateful I am for your support. To my friend who I've known since the day I was born, her mother who held me in her arms the day I came home from the hospital. That's what Port Washington is. To the fire department, to the police department, thank you for always being there for me. Also, I would not be here today if it wasn't for the efforts of everybody else who helped on my campaign along the way. I am truly grateful to you for your hard work, your dedication, and most importantly, for believing in me. My numbers showed it. My community believes in me, and I believe in them. In the weeks, months, and years ahead, I look forward to working with my colleagues on the town board for all the residents of the town of North Hempstead. Thank you, and Happy New Year, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Marianne. Next, I want to call on the Reverend Dr. Robert Kelly, lead pastor at Beacon Church in Albertson, for our benediction.
And so we've come to the end, which is no small accomplishment. Rarely have I been in a room with so many clergy and politicians, professional talkers. And we have been able to wrap this thing up before lunchtime. And I think you have something to do with this. And Kim, I think you might have something. Can we just give you guys a round of applause? Because I don't know how you did it. And as we do come to the end, it's fitting, it's appropriate for us to turn again to our great God and ask for his continued blessing upon each of us. If you would join in a closing prayer and benediction. Lord of heaven and earth, from the very beginning of time, you have called on humanity to mold the planet into civilizations made for the flourishing of humanity. And in your vast wisdom, you have organized this noble work by providing leaders who would look after this God-ordained mission. No leader leads solely by the vote of the people or the appointment by others, but by your divine call upon their lives. Therefore, this work that each of these officials do is an extension of your plans for the advancement of human society here in each of our communities. In their work to help others and to right wrongs and to make the world more beautiful, may these women and men rise to the occasion with wisdom and compassion. Among the many voices that clamor for their attention every day, may they hear your voice above all others. Strengthen them as they carry the heavy burdens of the people that they serve. May they lead their teams and manage their projects with exquisite skill and good old-fashioned love. Give each of these public servants the integrity and courage to choose the right path, regardless of the risks or personal costs. Give them a desire to promote values that honor you. Father, we're asking that you would surround each of them with wise counselors of high moral character and deep spiritual maturity who understand the times and can apply ancient deep truths to complex situations. Our good God, out of the hearts of these civic leaders may justice and righteousness and shalom flow. It has been well said that politicians will all too often think about the next election. Statesmen think about the next generation. May each here today have their minds locked on building our society for generations to come, and may their eyes be fixed on you, our source of wisdom and love. In the name of Messiah, King of Kings, amen.
Thank you, Reverend Kelly. So we've reached the point for closing remarks. And I want to say one thing. I noticed when I got the itinerary a week ago, it said closing remarks, but it didn't have anybody mentioned. So I actually reached out to Kimberly and I said, Kimberly, this closing remarks thing, who's going to give the closing remarks? And she said, well, if we can't find anybody, you. I said, Kimberly, I'm honored, but let's a round of applause for Kimberly. She did a fantastic job. So I don't know if Kimberly cleared that through Jen, because Jen has been in New Hyde Park when I have the microphone in my hand. And let me just say one thing. When Nicolello came in, he said, are you speaking today? I said, yes. He said, well, I guess I'm out of here at 12:30. So we got 45 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Just hang tight. Rich, I'm going to get to you, but hang tight. So I do want to mention a couple of things. One, it is an absolute honor to be here. And Jen, thank you for this honor, for being the Master of Ceremonies. I want to congratulate everybody. I want to congratulate Ed and Christine and Mary Ann. I want to congratulate Mary Jo and, of course, congratulate Jen. You know, as I sit here, and I've been at a couple of these, and this is a lot better than 2 years ago under the tent in Clinton G. Martin, although that's my hometown. I listen, and I'm filled with hope, because I hear everybody loves each other today, right? Meet my family. Everybody's taking pictures together. Oh, you're great. You're great. No, you're fantastic. No, you're great. And I'm filled with hope that maybe that this can continue. The bipartisanship can continue. The collegiality can continue. And I have my own selfish reasons because my village is in the town of North Hempstead as well. So I'm going to challenge each and every one of you. Change is difficult. I've done it on the village level. And change for most people is change for thee, but not for me. And I know there's a change here between the majority and minority or switching sides, you know, for this purpose. And that's for all of you to figure out. But I'm going to ask you, this bipartisanship and the collegiality and the respect that we see here today, have this continue. Have this continue, not only for yourselves as a board, but for us as local village mayors, because I'm going to be asking you for some things. I just heard what Paul Washington got. I want a piece of that. But also for the residents, because that's what you're sworn to do. And I give you the utmost respect for what you do, because I tell people in my village all the time, why don't you run for something? Why don't you put your name on the ballot and go ring doorbells and sign petitions and see what a humbling experience that actually is? And of course, you have every excuse in the book. They just want to sit in the back of the room and throw hand grenades. But I'm asking you that you've stepped forward and you're going to do this for the next 2 years, 4 years. To the words that you spoke today, put them into action. Because if you do that, we're all going to be the better for it. And I want to say one thing about Jen, our supervisor. I came across Jen in 2021, and she was running for the position. And I said to Jen, Jen, for the New Hyde Park residents, I need you to be present. Be present. And I have to tell you, talk about taking it to heart. Jen shows up at more events than some of my board shows up to. And I can tell you, as Commissioner Ryder can tell you, some of our St. Patrick's Day parades, the weather is a little tough. But Jen is there. She's there and she's present. And I hearken back to a time of Supervisor Mike Tully, New Hyde Park's favorite son. My parents loved Mike Tully. My mother, I think, was a little weak in the knees for Mike Tully. But that feeling is back in New Hyde Park because of Jen. We joke all the time, the fire department, you put 10 guys in my fire department in a room together, they won't agree on anything. You put 25 in a room together and you'll hear real bitching and moaning. You put 75 of them together and you probably have a fist fight. And yet each and every one of them will say, you know what? I like Jen. I respect Jen because she's always there to support them. That is really, really important. So as we go forward, and again, I'm not looking to preach, but as we go forward, I'd ask the board to be bold, be courageous, be ambitious. Jen was bold. She put a microphone in my hand today. But be ambitious. And when I say ambitious, I'm not talking about the next election cycle. I am talking a different type of ambition. And I'm going to keep it brief, I promise, Rich. I'm going to keep it brief. But I'm going to just say one thing. Ralph Waldo Emerson, in 1825, went out to Quincy, Massachusetts, to interview John Adams, President John Adams. He was long since president. And he sat down and he spoke with him. And Ralph Waldo Emerson took some notes and said, one of the things that Adams said was, I wish to God this country would have more ambition. And he said, by that I mean ambition of the laudable kind, to excel. To excel. And I want to rely upon the historian David McCullough, who said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could reinstate by what we do as parents, grandparents, as teachers, and as legislators, that old, noble ambition to excel. I'm going to end with 3 things about that. 200 years ago, John Adams said that. Ambition to excel. It's one of the founding principles of this country. I'm also going to tell you that we've definitely reached a new era in the town of North Hempstead, when a New Hyde Park volunteer fireman can stand before you and quote Emerson, Adams, and David McCullough. I mean, this isn't generational stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is once-in-a-lifetime stuff. There you go. And fortunately, my buddy Reed Sackwich had a run. But I can tell you one thing, that if he ever caught wind that I was up here quoting Emerson, I could never, and I repeat, never enter into another firehouse in New Hyde Park and not hear crap from the guys from this day forward. But what they said that day is true. You have a great leader and a great board. We need you to come together and work together for all of us. And if we're 100%. And if we do that, as Marianne just said, the TEAM acronym comes forward and can actually take place and put it into practice. So having said that, again, I wish all of the newly elected officials the best of luck. Congratulations. I know you work together. We have a fantastic supervisor. And on behalf of all the elected officials here in the town board, I wish each and every one of you a happy, safe, and healthy new year. Thank you for coming.